Morning. So, just homework from counselling course this week on disagreement. How did you experience disagreement in your childhood? I remember it being difficult. Um, I remember yeah, it was hard to manage my feelings and my emotions, knowing, I guess, having the sense that I'm going to get in trouble, I'm going to get shouted at, I'm going to get rejected, I'm going to, I'm on two sides. So my dad was kind of, and he's can be quite a prickly character. So he quite quickly loses it and gets snappy. And so I learned, I guess, from my mum to be good, be a good boy. And so I kind of tend to go silent if I can't placate. I'll try placate, but generally I go for silent and I go for distance. So I would go to another room or I would leave the house. I was quite lucky where I grew up was a quiet town. I had lots of friends and we would just go and hang out, which is what we did as teenagers anyway. So leave, ideally. And then I learned to leave mentally as well. So I would imagine myself in better circumstances in the future. So right, I'll tolerate this now. This is uncomfortable. It's upsetting me, holding it in my gut, but it's going to get better. And then it drove me, to be honest, all of that. As an adult, how do you generally manage disagreement? I think in some ways, in many ways, I the methods I learned. So I learned that there was no value in confronting disagreement. It always felt like a confrontation. There was no value in that with my dad. He was he was going to win, so you give in. And but I learned, yeah, sort of various strategies. And like I said, the placating, the fawning, the people pleasing, being a part of that. But that was something that when I look back upon a big chunk of my adult life, that was adaptive. That was really helpful. I was able to navigate all kinds of situations well and come out reasonably successfully because I wasn't someone prone to flying off the handle and losing my own control of my own emotions. Sometimes now I think, God, I would really like to just put my foot down and say no. I find that really hard to do. I'd say a lot of maybes and let me think about it, so that kind of thing, and making space. But I'd say also, do you know what? In general, today I am for I don't know, for a person of my background and age and experiences, I've got my troubles. I'm not going to deny that. I worry a lot. Um, but I've got a good life. And again, I think the way of negotiation and understanding is better in disagreement. I've learned some things. I was a big fan of Stephen Covey's work, and in conflict negotiation, in any kind of conversation on negotiation, actually, the concept of seek first to understand and then be understood is really helpful. So I've learned to listen. I don't get into that much conflict, I've got to be honest. And where I do, it's often because I step in and speak up too soon before understanding has been reached. And when I come from a place of understanding, and you know what, this tracks back now to my understanding of my relationship with my dad, is I can I can be okay, more okay than if I don't, yeah. I try to avoid the drama triangle. I don't always succeed in that internally. So internally, I can have an experience of an inner critic coming up. You should say something. You should do something. A victim. Oh, they shouldn't be saying that to me. And a rescuer. Do I do this? Do that? Come out on top. Be the and yeah, trying to look at other ways to to navigate that. But actually, again, I in my personal life have been able to be with and help and support people who have gone through difficulty and have been difficult to be with, and I've been able to hold my space reasonably well. And where I need help and support, and I think this is going to be an ongoing thing in the counselling career and also in my other work, I need channels for that. I've got yeah, a propensity to, I want to numb feelings, and I'll look for various adaptive and maladaptive ways to do that. And I've crossed a lot of those off, in terms of recovery, let's call it. But the sort of more benign strategies still come up. So deep into exercise, for example, to deal with feelings. And I can overdo that. I can overdo exercise and working really hard, being a workaholic, which is, and perfectionism is essentially is another aspect of that kind of desire to placate, to people please. And then, yeah, my other kind of maladaptive coping strategy, which definitely tracks all the way back to childhood, is I'll just shut down. I'll give you a neutral expression. I'll say very little. I'll let you be whoever you need to be, and if needs be, I'll take my dog for a nice long walk. I don't know. I find a lot of peace doing that. So yeah, those are my thoughts on disagreement. Tricky stuff. Tricky stuff. And do you know what? Don't be so hard on yourself, Keith. It's tricky for everybody. That's me on that.